I want to talk about what's happening with the nation's roads and bridges. It is no secret that the infrastructure in our country is crumbling, but the latest effort in Washington to do something about the chronic problem has ended in failure. President Trump walked out on a meeting with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer last month. Would an infrastructure bill produce jobs that we need here in America? And let's bring in Ben Brubeck, Vice President of Regulatory Labor and State Affairs for the Associated Builders and Contractors. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
I apologize now if we do have to break in for any coverage of the president as he was set to speak in France. But on this country, you know, we talk about freedom not being free. That's been something we've talked about a lot this week. But our infrastructure in this country is crumbling over the decades that we've seen it really build up after World War II. And now you say that this would bring American jobs to our country. How many do you think?
Well, unfortunately, the infrastructure bill is dead, as you said, and the real losers are the American people. We've got roads and bridges and ports in disrepair. We have about a $2.6 trillion 10-year infrastructure deficit on top of what we already spend on infrastructure every year. And we know that for every $1 billion we invest in infrastructure creates about 6,300 jobs. So do the math. Certainly, any infrastructure investment will be welcome because it's a safety issue. Americans really want a reliable, safe infrastructure. And the real question is, where do we go from here?
Well, let's go back in history then. Remember when President Obama was touting and trying to sell to the American people and to the Republicans his infrastructure spending bill, and many say that that act actually wasn't effective in hiring. There was a bridge here in New York, the Alexander Hamilton Bridge. You know, we found out later on that it was actually a Chinese engineering firm that was hired to oversee the repairs on that bridge. We've seen the same thing happen, and we did see the same thing happen in California with the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. Right. You know, it comes down to cost, and if an American worker is too expensive, states are going to look elsewhere for funding, and for projects.
Yeah, absolutely. States are certainly going to be taking the lead on infrastructure as a result of Washington's failure to come up with a comprehensive plan. We've seen a number of states entertain increasing the gas tax, for example, finding other revenue streams, and looking into public-private partnerships. We've also seen some states look into ensuring fair and open competition, which is something we could see happening at the federal level, too. Just this week, Governor Greg Abbott from Texas signed a bill that would ensure fair and open competition and reduce costs on their state and state-funded construction projects. It's the 25th state to do so, and so we could see President Trump do something like that here in D.C. on federal and federally assisted projects through an executive order, through deregulatory action.
Right. Well, so you really say, and I think you might have a great point here, that it really should be up to the states, because it seems that over the years, if you study how infrastructure spending has been allocated, it seems like there's more waste at the federal level than there is at the state level. And I go back to that California example of the Bay Bridge. They realized that they actually rejected federal funding for infrastructure because it was just cheaper to go the overseas route, which the federal government would not allow them to do.
Yeah, the federal government, when you get money for a state or local project and you get federal dollars, there's a lot of red tape that comes along with that. So there is arguments that state and local procurement officers have less red tape and get projects to market a lot faster. And that ultimately benefits taxpayers. But it's certainly not a perfect and efficient system. So we'll be seeing more and more states and localities finding more revenue and doing public-private partnerships and other things to get projects to market faster.
How do we make sure that if infrastructure is approved, it may not be until after the next election, but if infrastructure is approved, how do we make sure that those promises are actually delivered on? If they say that these are going to create American jobs, how do we make sure that that actually happens?
Well, there's got to be a bipartisan solution. Everyone's got to come together and come up with a comprehensive plan, a reliable funding stream. The other issue we've got to deal with, which our association's been working on really hard, is the skilled labor shortage right now. We've got about a 440,000 a shortage of skilled labor right now in the industry. So if we were to add another $1 trillion or $2 trillion for over 10 years, we've got to figure out how to find the skilled labor to build those projects and rebuild America. And that's a big threat. All of our members are saying that's their #1 issue right now across the country, is finding the skilled labor. And I think technology and some other innovations are going to fill that gap. But it's still a very big pressing issue, which affects our schools, our technical colleges, and just the entire business community, unfortunately.
Ben, thank you for being here. It is an important topic. I know that we need to see America's roads and bridges fixed. We hope it happens soon. Ben, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.